Whispers in the Night, A Journey with Kamau, the Silent Butcher of Nairobi. In the bustling metropolis of Nairobi, where the neon lights flickered and the streets teemed with life, there lived a man named Kamau. Tall and lean, with eyes that held a hint of sadness and hands that moved with the grace of a dancer, Kamau was more than just a butcher. He was a guardian of secrets, a keeper of hidden truths that lurked in the shadows of the city. From the moment he was born in the heart of Kibera, the sprawling slum that stretched like a scar across the landscape of Nairobi, Kamau knew that he was destined for a life unlike any other. Raised by his grandmother in a tiny shack on the outskirts of the city, he learned from an early age to navigate the treacherous alleyways and backstreets that crisscrossed the urban sprawl, his senses attuned to the whispers of danger that lurked around every corner. But it was in the quiet solitude of his grandmother's kitchen that Kamau found solace from the chaos of the outside world. Surrounded by the comforting aroma of spices and simmering pots, he learned the art of cooking from the woman who had raised him, her hands guiding his own as he chopped, sliced, and diced with the precision of a surgeon. As he grew older, Kamau found work in a small butcher shop on the edge of the city, his skill with a knife and his keen eye for quality earning him a reputation as one of the finest butchers in Nairobi. But it was not long before he discovered that there was more to the world of meat than met the eye, a dark underbelly hidden beneath the surface of respectability and tradition. It started innocently enough, a whispered conversation in the dimly lit alley behind the butcher shop, a furtive exchange of cash and goods between Kamau and a shadowy figure whose face was obscured by the darkness. At first, Kamau turned a blind eye to the illicit nature of his transactions, content to earn a few extra shillings to send back to his grandmother in Kibera. On this fateful day, the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the narrow alley where Kamau worked in secrecy. With practiced hands, he maneuvered the sharp blade, his movements swift and sure as he prepared to butcher the animal that lay before him. But as he raised the blade to deliver the fatal blow, a voice shattered the silence, freezing him in his tracks. "Kamau! What are you doing?" Startled, Kamau spun around to find his neighbor, Mama Nyokabi, standing in the doorway of her small wooden shack, her face twisted in horror and disbelief. Behind her, a group of onlookers had gathered, their eyes wide with shock and outrage at the scene unfolding before them. Caught red-handed, Kamau felt the color drain from his face as he struggled to find the words to explain himself. But try as he might, he could not deny the truth of what they had witnessed. In his desperation to make ends meet, he had resorted to the unthinkable, slaughtering his neighbor's beloved pet in a desperate bid to feed his family. Mama Nyokabi's cries of anguish pierced the air, her grief mingling with the anger and disbelief of those who had gathered to bear witness to the shocking betrayal. For years, Kamau had been a trusted member of the community, his friendly smile and willingness to lend a helping hand earning him the respect and admiration of all who knew him. But now, that trust lay shattered, replaced by a sense of betrayal and mistrust that threatened to tear the fragile bonds of their community apart. As Mama Nyokabi cradled the lifeless body of her beloved pet in her arms, her tears mingling with the blood that stained her hands, Kamau felt a wave of shame wash over him. He had thought only of himself and his own family, blind to the pain and suffering he had inflicted on those around him in his desperate quest for survival. But as he looked into Mama Nyokabi's eyes, so full of hurt and betrayal, Kamau knew that he could not undo the damage he had done. All he could do was beg for forgiveness and pray that one day, he would find a way to make amends for the pain he had caused. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Kamau bowed his head in shame, his heart heavy with regret for the choices he had made. For he knew that true forgiveness would not come easily, and that he would have to work hard to earn back the trust and respect of those he had wronged. Later the police come and arrested Kamau, where he was sentenced for 8 years and later released after the sentence. But as he looked up at the sea of accusing eyes that surrounded him, Kamau vowed to do whatever it took to make things right, to prove himself worthy of the second chance he had been given. For he knew that redemption was not just a journey of the body, but of the soul, a journey that would require him to confront the darkness within himself and emerge into the light a changed man. And with that thought burning brightly in his heart, Kamau took his first tentative steps towards a brighter future, guided by the unwavering belief that even in the darkest of times, there was always hope for redemption.